Welcome to your community. This is your hometown. This is Walton Entertainment. This is where you can hear from the community and those making a difference. We explore topics, local festivals, arts and entertainment, and local news. For this program and much more, visit us online at yourlocalstream.com. That's yourlocalstream.com.
Thank you for watching. I'm Dina Huff, the Executive Director for the Partnership for Families, Children, and Youth. And I just wanted to hop on here this morning and say thank you to all of our Walton County community, the entire community, for making 2025 Empty Stocking great success this year. We had sufficient volunteers and we had a lot of help. And a big thank you to Journey Church, because they are always willing to host Empty Stocking, and their church congregation does a great job stuffing the boxes and doing all the stuff that has to be done prior to the day of distribution. But everything went over real well. All the boxes were delivered, not all on time, but all of the boxes were delivered. So I would just say this morning, if you are looking for something to do for you and your family, just find an opportunity to volunteer, to give back, because there's no better feeling than helping somebody out that it may be in need, that are less fortunate than you or I this season. So that's what I would suggest, that if you're able to do this holiday season. And here at the Partnership, we take December away from meetings. We step back, and that's exactly what we do. We volunteer in different capacities in the community. But our meetings will begin in January again with a full schedule ahead. And our next meeting will be January the 20th, I believe, is on a Tuesday morning. We have not determined the location yet. It's either going to be here at the Board of Ed Annex or in Social Circle at Church at the Grove. But if you're interested in joining our collaborative, everyone is invited. We usually talk about events or anything that has to do with children and families. So if you have anything going on, you want to share, you want to attend our meetings, we do have a Zoom option as well. Please feel free to reach out and contact me, and I can get you hooked up and invite you. And we have a light breakfast, and we only meet for an hour. So you can always call me at my direct line number is 770-207-3175. And Tish couldn't be with me this morning, but the both of us would like to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Stay safe and see you in 2026.
Hello, I'm Kenny Sargent with the Walton County Recycling Center and Keep Walton Beautiful. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We just recently got the totals from our paint day, so I know I've been saying I would report those when we got it. So those just came in back on our America Recycles Day paint collection event. Our total gallons recycled were 556. A little over 556 gallons of paint brought in. So another really good event. Again, I want to thank everyone for coming out to get rid of that paint. Be on the lookout for our next paint event. Haven't decided if we're going to do one in the spring yet or not. But you know, if you are out and about and have a conversation with people that don't know what to do with their paint, it is very hard to get rid of. Let them know about the paint collection event that we have here at the Recycling Center. We certainly want to help as many of our citizens as we can get rid of any of that old paint. And moving on from that, you know, we're heading into the holiday season, and I just want to remind everyone to please recycle all the things that can be recycled throughout the holidays. We create so much waste during the holidays, whether it be cardboard, paper, some of our food scraps. water bottles, all of that. We create much more of it this time of year, so really wanted to go out of my way to remind everyone to please recycle as much of that stuff as possible. We're continually running out of landfill space in our area, and eventually we're going to be hauling our trash much further than we have to do now, and trying to cut down on as much waste as possible, especially during these holiday seasons. It really is important. So just wanted to get that out there, and like I always do, want to invite you to come out to our center. Let us show you what we do. Let us help you get started recycling or composting. We can help you with any of those things. If you have any environmental questions or any recycling questions, give us a call. Our number here at the Recycling Center is 770-267-1421. Be happy to answer any questions you have. So just come on out and see us or give us a call.
Hello and welcome to Monroe Walton Center for the Arts. Now, this is Paul's idea, not mine, to do a farewell address. I'm not leaving Monroe, but I am retiring, semi-retiring from this job. I will be going into my 9th year in just a couple of months, so almost a decade here, and I think during that time the Art Center has grown right along with Monroe. We just hit that wave at just the right moment when there were new families and new creatives and a real spark and love for this town that had been there for a long time. Seeds were planted decades ago, and I've talked to so many people who've had such an influence on this town for good. But the Art Center was kind of, when I first took this job, I honestly kind of sat around and twiddled my thumbs and thought, I'm not going to have a job in 6 months because there was just not a whole lot going on. We were like the neglected elderly aunt sitting up on the hill in her mansion, and the party was going on, at the Story Shop and Scoops and Brent's and places just a block or two away from us, but we weren't there, so we started working with our board, and somehow God gave me this word, and it was relevance. And because we were not relevant to our community back then. It's probably more information than Paul or anybody wants to know, but just quickly, we were not reaching, we were reaching a very small population of fine artists, but the shop was not being used, the gallery was not very well utilized. We had one teacher, bless her heart, Bobby Austin, who kept this place going for years when really nobody else much was paying attention. But I had this vision of just this elderly aunt in this big mansion that was beautiful and with so much potential, and we were sitting here and the party was going on downtown but not here. So we started having parties here. We started having the things that we call Saturday soirees, where once a month people could drop in and do some pottery or painting or jewelry. And our gift shop started growing. Our gallery shows started growing. Our teaching staff went from sweet Bobby Austin, who her byword was, all I want to do is teach art. She just wanted this place to be filled with art and with kids and adults enjoying art. We went from one teacher to now, at least 15 or 16 different artists who are teaching here at various times. So it's been a blessing. It's been my joy. This has meant a lot to me. many of you know, my special needs granddaughter, Shelby, lives with me, and she has been the impetus for a lot of the healing arts things that we have here, the special needs classes. The Art MD Healing Art Kits came out of an idea that Shelby and I had years ago and never could make happen until we came here. So a lot of good has come, I think, from us being here and the work that we've done here and the board that we've had, the volunteers, the teachers. I've made such great friends here in the community and here with the Art Center. So just love y'all. I'll still be behind the scenes. I'll be serving on the board. I'll be doing still the newsletter, the graphics, the social media type things that I've been doing. Heather Howard will be the new director. She'll be the on-site person that you'll see here most days when you come in. Zach will still be here, and Barbara. So just love Monroe. This place is precious. Guard it, protect it, support it. Let's keep growing it. I think the need is there more than ever for the healing message that art and beauty brings to our lives. So join us in just building this place up, keeping it going. Love you all so much.
Hi, this is Jody Johnson with another Recreation Report. I want to make sure everybody knows, hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We did have our grand opening out at the Grove, ribbon cutting ceremony. We did what's called the Merry Christmas at the Grove, and we had a huge turnout. Probably around 600 people came out on a Monday night from 5:30 to 7:30, and we had a great crowd and a great time. We had the Grove had their praise band out there, and they sounded fantastic. So they were singing Christmas music, and they sounded great. The lights show that we did also with the lights at the amphitheater, the ball field type lights, were flashing back and forth, and it really was a festive atmosphere. We had what we call a sleigh hay ride, which we had our tractor pulling the tractor all around the park, showing everybody the different aspects. The athletic fields were putting on a light show as well. The community center was open, but I believe the kids had the most fun on the playground. The playground was open, and there must have been 75 kids running around playing, and we finally had to shut it down at 7:30 at night. It was starting to get a little bit of a chill in the air, so we had a great time out there. I think we served around 700 hot chocolates, all the donuts that Reeves Young, our contractor, provided. We had 400 of those, and they were all eaten along with a large cake as well. So everybody had a great time of food and some fellowship. We had David Thompson out there, our chairman, cut the ribbon, and again, it was just a great time with some great Christmas music, a couple of crafts that we did out there as well. So park will officially open January 5th for anybody that wants to come out there. The gates are all down now, and some of the parks that's the elements like the playgrounds and the community center, all those areas will be open. The pickleball courts are ready to go as well. There's 6 pickleball courts out there at the community center at Walnut Grove, so there should be ample places for anybody that wants to play pickleball in this county, where we have Between and Criswell and now Walnut Grove. We're starting to get bids on the ones that we're going to put up at Meridian, where possibly 12 more courts will go. So we also have the indoor courts at Criswell and at Nowell Recreation. You can get a membership, which will get you a card that you can go when the times are available there as well. So lots of places for anybody that wants to play pickleball. We know it's a very hot sport right now. It's a great exercise for everyone. Let you know also, with the new equipment that we have at Walnut Grove, we have 4 complete community centers there with all the exercise equipment that you need. If you're a member of one, you're a member of all. You can go wherever you would like. Some people different times like to go to different places. Obviously the one at Meridian is probably our busiest one. The one at Social Circle is probably the least busy of all, and that's just sheer population of our county. The one at Walnut Grove and the one at Felker are the ones that are going to be in between, but they all have great equipment in them. And with everybody's New Year's resolution, as we know, we all want to get in shape this year, and this is a great opportunity to just do that. Our memberships are only $2 per week per family, so it's very affordable, and we do prorate that. So this January, basically you're getting half off for now until June 30th. It's a great place to join and just go and get in shape. Exercise. It's all novice equipment. There's a few free weights that you can do with dumbbells and things like that. Exercise bands, all the equipment that you need to get in shape. All the treadmills and ellipticals and bikes, all that stuff is at each one of those centers. So thanks to the Walton County Healthcare Foundation that did fund all of that for us to provide for you guys. A lot of programs still going on. Our basketball program is in the middle of it. We're during our break now that we won't start back until January 5th. And that's when we'll start registration for our spring sports, which includes the baseball, the softball, track, and soccer. So we'll have all of those registrations going on starting January 5th for about a week and a half. So if you want to get registered, go online to waltoncountyga.gov. and you can register online. If you have a profile, you obviously know how to do it. If not, you can create a profile and then sign up online, or you can come into any one of our centers and we will help you get your profile built, and that way you can register online in the future. Just makes it easier. If you want a volunteer coach, which we desperately need volunteers to come out and coach any of our programs, don't necessarily have to be the best at playing that sport. We're looking for good role models that want to go out and spend time with those kids in those sports programs. Another opportunity, as we all know, sports officiating is really at a decrease. People just aren't doing it anymore. So if you'd like a part-time job, we can put you in line with our assigners for that. They do a lot of training for our baseball and softball, soccer, all of our sports programs, so they can train you to be a sports official as well. So a lot of good opportunities. We hope we'll see you at a park near you. We hope we'll see you at Walnut Grove. Our administrative office is moving out to the Walnut Grove Park. So we hope to see you soon at one of our parks, and have a Merry Christmas. Thank you very much.
This is Saturday, December the 20th, and we're downtown Monroe, and it's the live nativity scene. They also have hot chocolate here and cookies. It's just a grand place to come to see the live nativity. This is Paul Mullins with Walton Entertainment. Hey, Juju.
I finished my hot
Well, it is another beautiful evening here on the square in Monroe. We are just honored to be able to present the live nativity where we remember the coming to earth of our precious Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It is my favorite event that we do every year, to be able to just present in just such a simple way the coming of our Lord. And so we wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you'd come out. Pastor Hugo give you some information about our evenings that we have left.
Come see us tomorrow. We're at Lighthouse Royal Outreach Center. Our morning service starts at 10:30. We have an incredible service tomorrow of worship and celebration. So come see us. We are at 609 Jean Bell Road, Lighthouse Royal Outreach Center, LWOC.net. Come see us, and Merry Christmas.
We also are going to be back Monday and Tuesday of next week, 6 to 8. Come out and join us.
Well, thank y'all so much for doing this. Thank you, man. For about 25 years, right?
Yes. It has been 25, and we're hoping the Lord will allow us to do it until He comes back.
They're with our Walton Elections Department. So they're going to share some information with us, what they do, things like that. Fun fact with Ms. Joyce is we actually got a church together at 10:25, so I get to see her all the time.
There you go.
She helps feed me on Wednesdays when we have Wednesday night meals.
I'm the sous chef.
And a little unknown fact is when we bought old Piggly Wiggly and built out the church, Gerald Aither was kind of our GC on paper, but George was actually the project manager. She oversaw the whole process, which is a big process.
Yes, it was.
She worked with me in the bank. She kept Tommy in line the best she could.
That's right.
Which is hard, you know, Tommy. But
yes.
Anyway, so Joyce is a blessing to our church, her and her family. But and then she also told me that you oversaw what project for the county?
I was director of facilities and risk management from '94 through 2014. So I did project management for all of the buildings while I was director of facilities. My staff actually built everything 10,000 square foot or less. So I've been in with my boots in the concrete, home spread concrete and everything. So with those experiences, I retired, and a year later the church buys Piggly Wiggly. And so I was asked to take that project on, and Gerald and I worked together for a long time. So it was easy to do. Thank you, Russell. And of course, we had the best banker in the world. So
I joke around with her. We're hopefully building a big gym in the next few years. And I asked her if she's going to oversee that. So I don't know if she wants to or not. But
I don't know if I have it in me.
Well, thank you, Ms. Joyce.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for having us. And with me, as Russell said, is Lisa Clark. Lisa is our assistant director for the elections department. So I want to just tell you a little bit about the elections department from pretty much start to finish with just some high spots. And then toward the end, Lisa's going to share with you all some things that the legislature's attempting to do and how it impacts us. So she's going to share that in the end. So the election board was actually created in 2003 when the transfer of election powers from Judge Greg Adams, which I know any of y'all that have lived here for any time knew that fine man. I actually worked with him as director of facilities. I was able to do the logistics for pushing out the elections equipment to the precincts, even when I was director of facilities. So that happened in 2003. And the board creation was created by Judge Adams and the Board of Commissioners. The Board of Commissioners appoints 3 members to the election board. They usually appoint a Republican, a Democrat, and a nonpartisan. Each party, i.e. the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, has one appointee. Of those 5 members, Lori Wood is our chairperson. She is appointed by the Board of Commissioners. I am the vice chairperson. I am appointed by the Republican Party. And then the other 3 members are Henry Ivey of Social Circle, Jean Gallman out of the Loganville area, and Novelette Carlton from the Monroe area. Novelette is the Democratic representative and I'm the Republican representative, but I want to tell each of you in here, when we're doing board business, it's not about parties. It's all about making sure that we meet the letter of the code, the Georgia code, that we meet that, and that's what we strive to do with transparency and everything. And we are literally the supervising body of the board of the elections office. But the day-to-day functions are done by the director of the elections, which is Jenny Phipps, and of course Lisa, who's the assistant director, and then we have Charlene Williams. She's the deputy registrar, who's pretty much in charge of the registration and absentee voting. Also, we have Katie, I cannot believe I forgot that. Yes, Katie Crawford, who is our election specialist, who takes care of, will be taking care of training and poll workers, precinct locations, and things like that. Chris Gordon, he's only been with us a month. He's our warehouse technician, and Andrea Raphael, who's our part-time clerk. Back to this department. In 2000, when we converted to the Dominion equipment, the department was 3 full-time employees. Yes, 3 full-time, and we finally got a part-time during that time. So that was in 2020. I don't know when I said, but it was 2020. once we got that 289 ballot marking devices, 289 printers, and 35 scanners, it became evident to the board, we don't have enough bodies to do this. So I become pretty much a working board member for a little bit of money. But it wasn't about that. It was about making sure that people in Walton County had a good place to vote and can vote securely. So I jumped in there and I did the training of poll workers, pretty much did training of it, and then I did work with the warehouse. So by doing that, I was been instrumental in helping the department obtain the elections technician. She's taking over the training part, which she was our warehouse tech. So we've added 2 positions since 20, the technician position and the warehouse tech. Guys, I can't tell you enough about how much physical work there is to doing elections. People think you just go vote, but there's so much to it, so much more to it. We're one of 159 counties in the state of Georgia. We belong to the Region 5. The state of Georgia makes sure we get trained, we get the law, but they don't give us any individual little workings of it. And I tell you, not all 159 of us were created the same. I would venture to say maybe 5 of the 159 might do business the same way. So with all that, we created the whole 159, an organization called Gavrio. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that at the end, and Lisa's going to elaborate on that. The counties in the region, I did want to let you know who those are because we meet monthly. That's Oconee, Barra, Morgan, Newton, Greene, Oglethorpe, Clark, Jackson, Madison, Elbert, Banks, Wilkes, Hart, and Franklin counties. We meet monthly, or quarterly, excuse me. We meet quarterly because even though the state, we can ask them and they can tell us the law, but we need, how do you do this? What's the best practice? So we as a region, we get together and we share our best practices to ensure that we're performing at the highest level of expertise. The next year's calendar, May, the 3rd Tuesday of May is the general primary. That's going to be May 19th is going to be the general primary. If there's a runoff at that point, that would be on June 16th. The general election is November 3rd, and then the runoff, if there should be one, would be December 1st. The positions that will be on the primary ballot are, Lisa, if you could.
Yes. We will have the federal offices, the United States Senate, United States House of Representatives. For statewide offices, there will be governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, secretary of state, insurance and safety, fire commissioner, labor commissioner, state school superintendent, agriculture commissioner, and public service commissioner. The regular elections for the Georgia Public Service Commission will be held for districts 3 and 5. Now, we did just have a special election for District 3 just a couple months ago. But that was just for a 1-year term to fill a vacancy. So it will come up again for their 6-year term next year. We will have the Georgia State Senate. All 56 seats will be up. We are in District 25 and 46. So if you do not know what districts you are in, you can go onto my voter page through the Secretary of State's office and check that out. Or NVP. Georgia House of Representatives seats, all 180. We are in districts 114 and 115. District attorneys will be on there. Only 9 out of 49 judicial circuits will be held. Judicial offices and county elections commissioners 1, 4, and 5, and Board of Education districts 1, 2, and 5. Now, if you don't know who your representatives are, this is where I was getting mixed up a second ago. You can go to www.legis.ga.gov to find out who your representatives and senators are for your districts.
I have for you all, we've put together a list of helpful hints for voters. And it's got a lot of really good information on it. Just for instance, signatures on absentee ballot applications must be a wet ink signature. No electronic signatures, stamped signatures are accepted for absentee or UOCAVA. Have a plan to vote. This is just really good stuff. And Lisa was just talking about the My Voter page. You can go on that My Voter page, and we've got a QR code on here that you can scan, and it takes you right to the My Voter page. It will. All you have to put is your last name, your birth date, and your county, and it pulls up your voter registration card. It tells you how current you are in voting. It tells you what your precinct, where your precinct is. It just gives you good information. So I'm going to leave these on the table back there. If you would, pick up several of them, share them with any and all. We're trying to do, the board has really tasked the office with doing more and more of what we're doing today, especially with private groups or church groups. Our 1025 seniors group meets once a month. We went over and with that senior group gave them good information, took them sample ballots. We're available. Call the office. We gladly will come out and try to help educate any group that may be. So pick up some of these. Now, if you give me just a few more minutes, I'd like to walk you through an election process. Voter registration is always ongoing, but amps up greatly prior to an election. Currently, we have 82,797 registered voters in Walton County. Of those 82,797, there are 5,919 inactive voters. Now, when I say inactive, they are still registered, but they have not voted. If you stay inactive through 2 general elections, you then are taken off the rolls. I can tell you during the presidential in 2024, a lot of people that hadn't voted in years voted again, and now they're back on the active roll. Therefore, if they go inactive, you have to stay inactive through 2 general elections. So Walton County, that's a lot of people. We have to maintain those records. The directors of the office, Lisa and Jenny, if a new voter registration or people moving into our county, once they register, it's their job to make sure they're placed in the correct combo, the correct school district. Where you live determines that address, okay? I also want to say about the voting precincts. Well, let me get down to that part. Qualifying, of which will occur sometime in either late February or early March, okay?
First week of March.
First week of March this year. We get our state calendar usually by the first week in January. That calendar is about 30 pages. They literally, so much of this process starts literally days before, 60 days, 45 days. These things are drop dead dates that we have to maintain. We start also in the process, the qualifying after the qualifying, we start training poll workers, poll managers, assistant managers. Currently, we have about 200 of those on our rolls. They are of the older age, like myself, and we are highly recommending and trying to recruit a lot of the younger people to try to pick up our slack when we exit the process. So we are becoming successful in that. We're getting a few of those. So training those, we train them via hands-on training, and we also use an online training tool of Teachable. So I've got that started. Now I'm getting ready to hand it over to the new elections technician. She's getting ready to take that part up. We also, Lisa and Jenny, do the ballot building, literally with the state of Georgia. That's a real finite process, very finite. Securing the precinct and polling locations. We try to use government facilities because they have to give us a place where it's applicable. So we currently have 4 voting precincts that are in county facilities. We have the Felker, which is south of Monroe on election day, but it's Felker absentee and person voting. We have Meridian Park, which is an advanced in-person site, and on election day it becomes the Bay Creek site. And then we have South Walton, which is for the social circle area. Anybody that is a registered voter that's a part of that 82,797 can vote at either 3 of those advanced sites. We do that for 3 weeks. That includes 2 Saturdays. I encourage people to early vote. Our county voters are doing that. With them doing that has enabled us, and at the board level, to reduce some of our precincts. We had 21 precincts in 2020. Last year, we reduced that to 16. We combined the Blassingame precinct, which was at Union Chapel, and we combined it with the Watley precinct, which was at the Ag Center. They're both at the Ag Center. We have to have a minimal of 4 poll workers at any site. We were able to reduce number of workers and put it under one site. We no longer had to pay rentals fee to churches or other establishments that we use. We no longer have to pay that because it's in a county facility. Secured cameras are in there, not where they can see what you're voting, just make sure the equipment is secure. So we don't have to put in hotspots or cameras in those places. This next year in January, the Board of Elections is entertaining of combining 2 more precincts. Those precincts are Walnut Grove and Broken Arrow. Broken Arrow is at Corinth Church on Highway 81. The Board of Elections will be acting on that at the first Monday in January. The reason we can do that, number one, Walnut Grove at City Hall, at the park where they have their court and their meetings, the facility is no longer adequate for the number of voters there. Corinth still has space, but a lot of the Corinth or Broken Arrow voters actually can vote in the Walnut Grove city election. So we're combining both of those and putting them in the new county facility on 81 once it opens. So by doing that, we will be able to reduce poll workers by at least 4. And it's going to be a new, quick and easy access point. The reason we combined, it didn't pay for us to have 4 to 8 poll workers at a site when you only had maybe 500 voters that day. Because of advanced voting, it had reduced to that on election day. So keep voting early. That helps make this go much faster. Election project then arrives from the state. The ballots have been built. We've made sure everybody's name is on there correctly. That project doesn't come via the internet. That is a hard copy that's either transported by the State Patrol or it's securely tracked through the FedEx system. Once Lisa gets that project, she can't even open that until she has a secret code that the state will have to approve to accept that. So none of this is ever on the internet. No access to that at all. I can't say that loud enough. Also, once that project arrives and it's tracked, we start our LNA testing. That's logic and accuracy. We post that when that starts on our website, in the county paper, the Walton Tribune, and we put it on the county's website plus our elections department website. That is open to the public to watch that. That's literally putting the project in each ballot marking device, and we test it to make sure it records accurately. We have, as I said, 289 of those. Thank goodness, because we've reduced our sites, we don't have to use all 289, but we do have to account for them and charge them, so it's still a lot of process. Next we rent box trucks. That's a lot of equipment to push out. This 6-member office and 5 board members, no way can we load those security carts and all that equipment. So we recruited our facilities department, our parks and rec department, and our grass crew. There's members of those departments, not all, but members of. 3 from facilities, 3 from parks and rec, and 6 to 8 from the grass crew. It takes us all day on Monday before elections to push out all that equipment. A board member follows each truck for a chain of custody to make sure no seals are broken. They put up security cameras and hotspots for those to make sure that it's all stayed secure. And then on the next day is election day. For poll workers, that starts at 5:30 in the morning. And a lot of times they're not through at our office bringing stuff back until 10 and 11 at night. So it's a long, long day. Let's see here. The day after, we just reverse that. We pick up all that equipment. And then all that is uploaded to the state. Provisionals, supplemental voters, recap sheets. And then Friday, after the election, the board pre-certifies that election. And then the following Monday, we have to certify it. After it's been certified, then we have a risk limiting audit where the state rolls the dice and they tell us out of what batch that we count votes, okay? We as a board have determined that we go above and beyond that during big elections, i.e. a presidential and a gubernatorial or a Senate race. We have been literally, if that didn't get chosen by the rolling of the dice as far as what batch to pull, we literally hand count each one of those to make sure. We want it to be clear and transparent. We use teams, we use poll workers to help with that counting, but they don't count their own precinct. So we do a lot of checks and balances on that. Let's see, then the process starts all over the next election. So I'd like to tell you a little bit more about GAVREO. That's the Georgia Association of Voters Registration and Election Officials, which is made up of all 159 counties. And we have members in GAVREO. We have a president, a first vice president, a secretary. We pay fees to that GAVREO. We have our own attorney for that too. We work with the legislature on trying to make sure that all kind of rules are passed and them considering actually what happens. And I wanted Lisa to tell you all a little bit about what we're working with the legislature on currently through GAVREO. Ms. Lisa? And then after she finishes, that's our presentation.
Okay, so GAVREO hired a couple of lobbyists to kind of help us out. We know legislators pass rules and laws about things that they don't fully understand. So it is our job to try to help educate them as well, and we do the job. So we know what will work and what won't work. One of the things that they had passed was they're wanting to get rid of the QR code that is currently on the ballot that Dominion had put on there. But they want it done by July 1st of 2026. The transition to a new election system represents a significant undertaking, one that demands meticulous planning, extensive testing, and comprehensive outreach to both voters and election officials. So implementing a systemic election update of this complexity requires more than that period of having it done by July 1st. So what GAVREO is recommending is to extend that to July of 2027. This adjustment will provide election officials with the necessary time and resources to adopt, test, and deploy the new system in advance of the 2028 presidential election. protecting the integrity and continuity of election administration across the state. Implementing something so large right before any big election is never a good idea. In 2020 there were issues and stuff, so we don't want that to happen again. So that's why Gabrielle is recommending, give us another year. So that's one thing that we are discussing.
Lisa, may I add one thing?
Absolutely.
And the one reason that they're asking for the extension, equipment's going to have to be bought. You take away the QR code, becomes now a paper ballot. We now have to have a means to either print a paper ballot at the site, at your voting site, or get them printed. All those finite details have not been worked out at the state level.
We've gotten no guidance
Zero.
On what they are planning to do. So that's the problem that we have a lot of times with the legislators, is they will make these plans, pass these laws, but then, okay, so what's our guidance? What are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to implement that? So we have yet heard anything. So
Other than the QR codes going away.
okay, how? So, but another thing is prohibit new state election board rules within 90 days of any election. Recently, our election board, on the state level, they were trying to pass laws and make changes within the 90-day window of an election. That makes things very difficult on our level because by then, ballots are being printed, testing is going on, and it just makes the training of the poll workers. So the election administration effectively, it begins before the whole 90 days. So we are asking for them to not make any decisions within 90 days of an election. Because right now that is not on paper. We are also addressing the cost burdens on small and rural counties while enhancing efficiency across all election jurisdictions. Right now, we are required to have 3 weeks and 2 Saturdays of advance voting. That is wonderful. We love doing that for big elections. A lot of the bigger counties need it for all their elections. Fulton, Cobb, DeKalb, Gwinnett.
Walton, we've become
Walton, yes, we're getting there. However, there are, like the city elections, there are some cities that do their own elections. The counties don't. Our cities are lucky we do theirs. There are small counties that may have only a couple thousand registered voters. It is very costly for them to have 3 weeks and 2 Saturdays of advance voting for a few thousand people. So what we are promoting is give that to us. Let the counties decide how many weeks or days for advance voting. Especially for either really small elections. For instance, the one we just had in November, there are some counties that had 1, maybe 2 voters show up to vote. So, and there may be elections that we have the same issue, which we have seen, especially in Social Circle. Unfortunately, there were days they only had 5 people come in to vote the whole day. That's a lot of money that we're spending on poll workers. That is the #1 top budget item in every election is the cost of poll workers. So reducing it to a week and a Saturday, maybe 2 weeks and a Saturday, something like that for small elections or for these smaller counties would save them a lot of money. So that's something that's being presented. That's all I've got.
Okay, as Lisa told you all about the smaller counties and the larger counties, we as a board, we're there. We've been offering 3 weeks now. We don't feel like we'll ever, at our level, be able to pull back. we had at our advanced sites easily during the presidential, Meridian and Felker, over 1,000 voters. Those people vote, and we want you to vote. I'll tell you a little bit of a story about a lady that was in 24 or 20. Anyway, she was putting out signs for the presidential, and it was prior to the advance in person, just literally the weekend before. And she didn't make it home. She ended up, got all the signs out, was sitting in the church, in her car at the church parking lot, and had a heart attack. Didn't even get to vote. So if you vote, advance voting, and something happens and the Lord calls you home, your vote counts. You have cast your vote, so it counts. So take advantage of voting. We highly recommend that for everybody. That's a right that people have died for us to have. So help us champion that to people that you work with and in the communities that you're a part of, and help us to continue to do that. And we welcome you at the elections office. If you have any questions, our number's on the sheet at the back, and we're open. And our board meetings are the first Monday of every month, and those meetings are open to the public also. Thank y'all for having us. Thank you for letting us be a part of this, and thank you for doing what you do through the Kiwanis Club for the children of our county and our community. You know, I don't think you guys get patted on the back near enough, so thank y'all for what you do also.
Now, does anybody have any questions?
Hey, this is Isaac with Reboot, giving you the Reboot Tech Tip today. I want to talk a little bit about Wi-Fi. You know, everything these days it seems like is got Wi-Fi. My washing machine to wash my clothes at the house hooks to the Wi-Fi now. You know, refrigerators, just all kind of stuff. I mean, you can almost literally have a house with any electronic that'll connect to the Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi is in big demand these days. You know, internet, everything's connected to the internet. Everybody wants something fast. You know, a couple things about all this. You know, there's several internet providers. I will say that the good internet these days is the fiber optic internet. If you can get that, go with that. You know, Comcast, Spectrum, places like that, they still do the coax cable, and it's fast too, and they're steady upgrading that. So that's also good. We always recommend that. But excuse me. So for all these devices, you know, you need decent internet. Another thing, you know, if you've got a house that's, you know, I don't know, 2,500 square feet or more, usually you can't cover that house with, you know, just one Wi-Fi device like a Wi-Fi router or whatever. You need something else. Typically, we recommend these mesh systems. So TP-Link makes one. It's called TP-Link Deco. It's a good one. It's typically what we sell. And they work kind of like cell phone towers. You put them throughout the house. As you go through the house, you know, your phone will connect to the one you're closest to, or, you know, whatever device is close to that, it'll connect to that. And they all talk to each other and can, you know, move you around and stuff. It's really kind of high tech. But anyway, so it's good to have, you know, this mesh system. That way you've got full coverage throughout the house. You know, another option you can do, like we did one a couple weeks ago where a gentleman had an unfinished basement, and so we actually went in and we wired these Wi-Fi access points. It's basically a mesh system, but they're all wired in as opposed to talk to each other wirelessly. Anything that's wired is always going to be faster. It's also going to work better. Just because the Wi-Fi moves in a wave, and the waves don't always line up exactly so they can talk to each other exactly correctly. So wired stuff is always better. But anyway, and we did, I think, 3 devices, and it covered the whole house there. So, you know, that's your options. There's no reason these days to go without having Wi-Fi everywhere. You can even put little devices outside to give you Wi-Fi on your back porch, or at your tool shed, or at your pool, or whatever it may be. So, you know, the options really are endless. You know, so don't go without you know, Wi-Fi that's not good. And of course, you can always give us a call. We'll come out and install something or give you a consultation. Again, Isaac at Reboot, giving you the Reboot Tech Tip. And don't forget, we have moved. We're at 1215 South Broad now. We used to be right downtown Monroe. We're just a little further south, same side of the street. Got a big sign out front. You can't miss us. Again, 1215 South Broad, Monroe, Georgia. Thank you.
For this program and much more, visit us online at yourlocalstream.com. That's yourlocalstream.com.
Hi, I'm a road officer with Walton County Animal Control, here to give some tips on caring for your dogs during the winter months. We want to make sure that if your dogs live outdoors, that they always have access to an adequate shelter, which would involve a shelter with 4 walls, a ceiling, and an entrance for the dog, and raised off of the ground. Make sure they have proper bedding inside the shelter, things as pine shavings, hay, those are the best to use. Blankets will freeze easily in the winter, and ensure that the dog has access to water and the water is not freezing.
This is Paul Mullins on Feed the Goats. Today we're going to try something different. We're going to try a little celery because it's just about Thanksgiving, and we've got some chocolate chip cookies too, and got a green tomato. I don't know if they'll like the green tomato or not. Oh, you like that? You can't bite it down, can you? There you go. Yeah, you like the green tomato. Well, it's a A+ on the green tomato. Come on over, Sophie. Come here. Got a chocolate chip cookie for you. Come over. Come on, Sophie. Come on, got chocolate chip cookie. There you go. You're a good girl, Sophie. Try a chocolate chip cookie. Heidi likes the chocolate chip cookie. You're not going to eat the chocolate chip cookie? Yeah. I thought you liked chocolate chip cookie. Oh, that's good. And we're going to try a little celery here. This is really some crispy celery. So we're going to see what they do about celery. Do you like celery? You want to try celery? You want to try celery? I don't think y'all going to try celery, are you? Well, they'll probably come back and eat that later. We'll go back to the chocolate chip cookies. Celery all out. Okay, now the chocolate chip cookie. There you go, Sophie. Chocolate chip cookie. Yes. Yeah, you like that chocolate chip cookie? Yeah. Heidi, you want a chocolate chip cookie? Okay, Sophie gets the last chocolate chip cookie. Well, there you have it. Didn't like the celery today, but do like the chocolate chip cookies. This is Paul Mullins with Walton Entertainment on Feed the Goats.
Welcome to your community. This is your hometown. This is Walton Entertainment. This is where you can hear from the community and those making a difference. We explore topics, local festivals, arts and entertainment, and local news. For this program and much more, visit us online at yourlocalstream.com. That's yourlocalstream.com.